awaken. To slake their hunger, they feed upon the herd of unaware mortals. Right beneath our noses, the kindred clash against their rivals as they vie for control of the city of San Francisco. Are you strong enough to cheat final death and see another night? Vampire the Masquerade rivals expandable card game from Renegade Game Studios.
Hey everybody, welcome to Vampire Wednesdays. I am Matt Holland from Renegade Games, and I'm here with Rick Ankney, the Tabletop Santa. We're going to stream some live gameplay from Vampire Rivals with a little bit of commentary from us. So a little bit different than what we've done in the past. Hopefully I'll make it a little bit easier to follow what's going on and just chat a little bit about the game, because I know, Rick, you played various World of Darkness games for a long time, right?
Yeah, since before you were born, Matt. As no, yeah, back in the '90s, I was a big World of Darkness player, and I used to play the old card game, Vampire Ascent. What was it? Jihad.
Awesome.
You remember that one? Yeah.
You got some perspective.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to watching these two players go at it here.
Great. Well, we've got Jared and James playing, and they're playing the Ventru and Toreador decks. So you guys may have seen these cards before, but hopefully it'll be a little bit more entertaining or easier to follow with some commentary. We'll try to do play-by-play and maybe a little bit of discussion on why they're doing what they're doing, and maybe even talk to the players here at some point. But you guys, James and Jared, you guys can start. Who did I say was going to be first player? James, right? James is first player. And James, you are playing who?
I am playing the Toreador.
Toreador first. Okay. Well, let's kick it off. Good luck to both of you.
Okie dokie. I'm going to draw some city cards, Jared.
All right.
We have ourselves a cop. And we have ourselves a Chinese New Year, which will take no effect. Shuffle all events into the burn pile, which will not take effect, so I'll stick this over here. All right.
At the start of every round, players are going to draw the city card. Just represents what's happening in the city of San Francisco. Chinese New Year kind of not helpful because that shuffles the discarded or burn cards back in, and there are none right now.
And then,
but there is a cop on the streets, vulnerable to some vampiric doings.
And they're going right into the streets, making their presence known.
Physical attack against that cop. Play a lightning strike out of hand to increase it by 2 damage.
Okay.
Okay.
So first action, just attacking with the Toreador leader. He's going to do the 3 damage and get that cop as a retainer.
I'm totally not surprised.
I thought when we played the other day, that was one of the cooler things about the Toreador is that they do bring a lot of retainers into the fold.
Citizen retainer gain agenda, so I'll give 1 for the actual cop.
Yeah, and they're really all about that. And actually, while she has a retainer, her party's first social attack during each turn deals additional damage. So that's a multiple buff. Having it attached gains the discipline there and 1 more blood potency, plus an additional damage. Looks like the second action is to play Mohammed Zadeh, another Toreador vampire. Who, big part of your strategy when we played last week, Rick.
It sure was. That is definitely a good right-hand man to have.
1 card from my crypt.
Certainly. End of the turn, he's going to draw his 2 cards. When you draw cards in this game, you can draw off either deck, your library, or your faction deck.
Let's get a new city card out. Start of my turn. And we have a Vagrant. Okay.
Vagrant.
I think I'm going to start with a recruit myself. I want to get Zhang out here.
So Vagrant coming off the deck, that's not technically a citizen, so you don't get any points when you kill them or attach them as a retainer, but does act as a nice meat shield to take some damage that your character might take.
Absolutely.
And it's
also good to note that as some of the Toreador get more and more retainers, they become more powerful, regardless of citizen or not.
Exhaust to attack that Vagrant with a mental attack. I don't have to play a card. You could interrupt. I don't think you're going to.
So because Zhang has
You're
2
attacking
I will take that Vagrant.
skill in his mental attribute, he's going to do the 2 damage necessary to take down the
And dash
Vagrant
attack.
in just 1 attack with no
That was
additional
my 2
cards.
actions. No points for me this turn, but that's okay. I'm going to draw up. I'm going to draw 1 from my library first and see what I get.
Desiree, do you know who's echoing?
And you know what? I'm going to draw a 2nd from my library.
I'm
All right.
muted in Discord, but I'm thinking it's when I don't have it deafened.
City deck. I'm getting lucky. All right, I'll take it. Well,
Yeah,
first we'll
okay.
go
It's
home.
I fixed it by deafening myself on Discord, so I can't hear
right
the
back
players.
out.
That's something that
So let's take everyone. Yeah,
I
your
can
first
maybe
base token.
solve.
Nice.
with this.
We're gonna step out into the streets. Using Liju, when this character has a retainer,
Alright,
the party's
now this
first
should probably be
social
better. I
attack
can still
during my
hear them.
turns will deal 1 additional damage to the target. We're gonna spread the love and have Muhammad make a social attack against this student. She'll
Okay.
take it.
All right. I
That will
think
get
let us know,
me
chat, if we have any echoing still.
1,
I think that probably fixed it.
1 agenda, and then another agenda. Oh, there's
The
not
Toreador taking their 2nd retainer, the student gaining
It's 1
additional mental power for
action
Muhammad, as well as giving him additional
for
influence
my
because of his ability.
2nd
Mhm.
action.
Yeah, Muhammad is a great card, and I hope that his rival
will-
Bruno doesn't show up.
Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Yeah, you had
I
Muhammad
can
with
afford
just a ridiculous amount of influence on Saturday.
I'll
Yeah.
exhaust Li Ju Chen.
Nice.
Exert. So now I'm getting 1 influence from Muhammad, and then because he has 1 attached retainer, and I have 1 naturally on Li Ju, so I will play the Primogen. Cost me 1.
Ooh, what?
So
You
playing
can't play
titles,
It's allowed.
I can play
you only
exactly
have one title per
title.
character, and
That's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
gonna give it on.
you have to use
Li Ju
influence,
Chen.
which only your leader has by
All right.
natively. They have
additional
1 influence.
But she will
You got a
deal
2nd
1
one
additional
from
damage
Muhammad,
to title
and then
vampire
he'll pay
characters,
1
which
prestige for the
might come in
3rd.
handy later. We'll
You sneaky.
That's me, and then I'll draw
That was great.
2 from my.
This is looking very familiar to your board state, Rick.
It is, yes. I didn't get Primogen until later in the game, but it was still
All right.
to see it out early.
City deck card out here. Hey, it's a sad.
Gross.
Make
And
it
you'll
see it out
notice
early
here-
is great.
Let's see.
Toreador have 4
So what I'm going to do is
agenda
first return
points because
home,
they've
of
taken the
course,
2 retainers each, which give 1,
Mm.
and their playthings
and
agenda
I'm gonna
here.
activate
when they attach a
my
citizen retainer,
Prison
they gain 1
ability
too.
To discard that sad and draw a new card.
Nice.
Thank
Nice. The SAD is the Special Affairs Division. They're like the kind of the vampire hunters. They come out of the city deck and they can be a big pain in the butt if you don't deal with them.
I'm going to move this event.
And it looks like he drew a replacement of the same card.
Oh no.
So any vampires in the streets are vulnerable to take some damage from that Special Affairs Division. as long as they are in play.
I'm going to draw a card.
So an action that's always available to you, you can just draw a card off either deck.
Not too helpful.
Uh-oh.
Man, I don't want to do this, but sometimes you have to. I'm going to exhaust Zhang, and I'm going to equip him with a title. So I will spend the influence on Randolph.
Ventru, all about titles. That was how I won the game Saturday.
Prestige.
It really
Everybody
is.
had a title.
Make
got a big one
Zhang the sheriff.
Sheriff's in town.
Oh wow. Well, it definitely lends to the game
Because I
as far as
attached
like
a
how it
title
connects to the
my
history of the
agenda,
game,
which gives me 2 points.
with Ventru having
I
titles
know you
and
have some
being
good
there.
ongoing cards in your deck.
It's so good.
Yeah, I
It
do.
was expensive, but the sheriff is going
And I liked it because it gave me all these little extra abilities that I was able to take advantage of and trigger.
my turn
Right.
is
Over and
done.
over again.
No mending to
Yeah.
do, but there is a sad to deal with, so I'm going to go ahead and exhaust my vagrant here to take that sad damage.
Mm. And then, of course, the Toreador are all about beauty and the arts
Draw one
and
from the
Yep.
library.
having
You know
influence in
what?
society.
Another one from the library.
So the Vagrant they're showing it's
Okay.
worth taking the damage that the SAD deals.
Fresh card.
Just able to soak 1 damage a turn.
Tour guide.
You get lucky every time.
Another citizen. Toreador is getting all the citizens here.
All this, that's so good.
That's also going to increase the social attribute.
I'm gonna tell you, I
Oof.
am actually quite sad to see that that sheriff come out though. Looking at my hand, I had something. I really
Yeah.
wanted to do. That's-
Yeah, Sheriff gives some great
I was
stuff.
hoping to get something to help me pay the cost a little better, but hey, it's
Yeah.
too good not to have out.
Oh man,
Some of those titles are quite expensive in influence too. 3, 4, 5.
who do
I
wanna
believe.
have it? 'Cause I really
So you
like
want to get some of those cards
the
out there that boost your
social
influence
on
naturally,
review.
not spend all your
Yeah.
prestige on it.
but
Right.
Muhammad can do more stuff.
Muhammad is so
with
good.
more people.
Yeah, boost Muhammad. That's what I would be doing.
We'll step out and we will have. Let's look at your stats over here. That might be relevant. Okay, Zhang isn't terribly physical, and Randolph is the one stat. So I think we're gonna have Muhammad make a social attack against that tour guide.
Mm.
So he's just
we're
checking, I
using,
think, if
obviously,
Muhammad's in the streets and
Leisure
vulnerable and
ability to
exhausted,
increase
how
the social
dangerous
by
is it
1.
going to be for him? But since
Right.
the adventure player here doesn't really have anything that
Here.
threatening, he's going to take the risk.
Naming our 2
Oof.
agenda.
And now that did he take? No, he didn't take the Vagrant, did he?
6 there. Now,
He did. It's on Zhang here.
let me look at
It's on
action
saying, yeah.
items. It is at least. It's not even an action, so you just have to exhaust the character. I'm gonna give you difficult decisions, so
Okay.
I am actually just gonna go ahead and play for my second action, unhosted action or search engine.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I will go ahead and exhaust it to look at the top card.
So search engine is an ongoing card. It's going to stay in play here. If he has the
Let me look at
the eyeball discipline, sorry, I don't know them all by heart yet, in his coterie, which he does on Muhammad there at least.
Mhm.
Every turn, he can look at the top card of his deck, leave it, or move it to the bottom. So it's going to dig for the things he needs to complete a combo or pull off a special move.
There we go. Hey, I did it.
All
So we're
right.
gonna bury that at the bottom of the deck. I feel then that's gonna be the. I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna discard a card to mend because I can actually mend Leisure 1.
Right, 'cause she's up to 7.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead. And do
This is a thing we never did, Rick. At the end of the turn, you can discard cards to heal 1
Oh, okay.
on vampires.
But I didn't use search engine
figured
because
this
I
gives
didn't
you
know
a-
what was in
a
the
somewhat
deck.
difficult decision, maybe. It's
Yeah,
good, but I
true.
don't know if it's like we'll see what happens.
These
I'll
guys
actually
are
pick one, we'll
much
pick
more familiar with the decks than we were when we played them.
Said.
Yeah,
So it's
and
kind
I
of cool to
think-
see people who know what they're doing
Oh,
play.
absolutely. Because also knowing that what is in the Toreador deck, the search engine actually does become very powerful. And for those of you that are watching, there are multiple search engines in the deck, so
Hey,
you
it's
can have
an
multiple out
athlete.
and just grind
Oh,
through your
boy.
deck to get what you need.
That's a good one.
that is a good one.
Like my whole don't even do what to do
So
with my
athlete,
whole
another
thing.
citizen coming up. We've seen just the one
So
event,
good.
Good athlete.
two sad
bounce
teams, and
the
then
athlete.
athlete.
That would actually
Nice.
be kind of cool. Not good.
Are-
I could get it myself,
Yeah.
which I'm
Ooh.
super tempted to do. You know what?
Oh, I see. So his Haven here, he could just get rid of that athlete and draw a new card if
I
he
am
wanted
going
to. So if
to
he
go
couldn't
out
take him,
here into
he can
the
deny it to the
streets.
Toreador.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Refresh random.
Yeah.
You didn't think? I'm glad you didn't use that against me on Saturday.
Yeah,
That
and it's
would've
not
been
an action.
devastating.
That's
But
just a
speaking
thing you can
of
do.
Randolph,
Mm.
he is going to make a mental attack with a card against that athlete.
That is crazy.
So Randolph already has one physical. If he gets the buff there, he'll have 2 physical, which is not bad. It gives him another
There you go.
option for attacking.
You're good.
So
Yeah,
it's
you're
power
good.
play.
Yeah.
So it gives me a 1, and then because Zhang has a title, it gives me another 1. So that is 3.
So 2 extra
I'm
damage
not
off that
unhappy to
power
see that
play.
card go away.
Has to be played by Randolph because it's got a blood potency cost there of 5, which is higher than Zane can play.
That does net
Okay.
me 1 agenda. Take it.
Hmm.
It's 1 less citizen for you to get.
That's fair.
So Venture's got 3 points, 1 off of that citizen, and then 2 off the title that they put into play.
Card. I want to draw a vampire this time. I could use a reinforcement.
Watching the Toreador, they're gaining influence, or they're gaining their agenda points quick. They're at 6.
They've gotten a citizen every turn. That's great for them.
Leave my Vagrant unexhausted, and then I will draw 2 from my library.
So just got pinged for some damage there by the sad team.
City deck.
People who are watching, you also notice there's 2 decks. So the library there is the vast majority of your cards. It's all your action cards, attacks, reactions, the titles, schemes.
Take a look at the top.
The other deck is your faction deck. That's just 7 unique vampires.
So you should be nice
And that's all your vampires that you have access to.
That's interesting.
Protests in the streets.
We're gonna leave that there.
Yeah, so there's an ongoing event. So when a character attacks a mortal in the streets, that attacker loses 1 blood. So you're going to get hurt if you want to go after a mortal. That does include the sad teams.
You got a Randolph.
And then if they got one more sad, if they would have drawn another sad, that they're going to start taking some hits.
Make your decisions even more difficult.
Yeah, the one here is discarded, I think. Only one's actually in play.
Okay.
I'm giving you juicy targets. So let's see if you take
Toreador is getting big on TikTok playing Influencer.
Yep.
They pay 1 prestige. And now both those vampires are going to be +1 influence, I believe.
Take a vampire.
Yeah, each character with a presence in your coterie has a +1 influence.
And
That's
both
awesome.
Lishu and Muhammad do. So Muhammad's now got 3 influence. Lishu's got
card 1
2
to heal.
Yeah, Muhammad's going to grow faster, like he did when we played.
She will be taking the hit.
Certainly.
From the first, or from the
That's
sad,
wild.
So the sad has 1 intel, which does allow it to go after your vampires in your haven. It can get worse though, because those sads will stack if you have multiples out. So they're all taking limited damage since nobody's dealt with them.
Let's see what happens here. What do we get?
Oh, the hunger. Jeez.
Ooh.
Hunger's another ongoing event. Sorry, go ahead.
Only we had vagrants.
Very
Maybe I'll
good
get
mark. Don't forget.
Oh yeah,
Alright,
I
let me
just learned about this, and it's pretty cool. So your library can have cards from any clan. The catch is, in order to play a clan card that has a clan symbol on it, so like Influencer here is not a clan symbol, it's just any card.
Yeah, well.
But any card that has the clan symbol, which I don't see any,
Boy.
those can only be played if you have a excuse me, a vampire of that clan in your coterie currently. So if you have just 1 Ventru and you want to play a bunch of Ventru cards,
I really wish I could
if
draw.
they put your Ventru into torpor, you can't play those cards. They're kind of just clogging up your hand in your deck.
I'm going to exhaust Randolph.
So it's a little bit of risk versus reward. I heard that playing 2 clans is pretty common. Playing 3 is less so.
Zang is the title, so I
But
get
you can
some
also
influence.
play solo clan
Thanks to
if
my
you'd
haven.
like.
And I'm going to spend 3 more to
goodness.
make Randolph the Seneschal.
So another title coming out that'll give 2 more agenda points to Ventru. And Seneschal's kind of cool. You can just force your opponent to lose prestige every turn.
For 2 agenda, bringing me up. to
You
5.
started using that against me a little bit in our
I
game.
did, yeah.
that was
But it
a
takes one of your
painful
2
thing.
actions.
Yep.
It takes one of your 2
And
actions. It also
then-
exhausts a vampire because it's not unhosted action.
Hmm.
And if it's not going to like win you the game right there, I just decided it wasn't worth it.
On influence.
Okay.
But right now, since nobody is Prince of the City, it would cost them 2 prestige.
I'm just going
Okay.
to draw for my second action. Jeez.
Wow.
Mending. I will go ahead and mend Randolph 1. Since he took damage from the sad last turn. And then I'm actually
You can
gonna
see
have him
those
to
both
take one
vampires have
from the
spent their
sad this
influence
turn,
in order to reduce the cost of
Did I do
that
it
Seneschal title.
Okay.
And then I'll draw
We'll
2.
take a look at that.
Okay. Oh, you're right. I see what you said. I forgot to mark my protest, but now I'll burn it
Yep.
here. But I'll remember next
It's well, only 2 of them. Not
Judge.
that big of a deal. but-
Judge,
Oh, lucky you.
Lucky me. a
skateboarder, another
Um,
citizen. Just what the Toreador want to see here, man.
On it.
Yeah, it is.
So you can only have 3 attachments on a vampire.
I should probably-
If either one of these Toreador vampires take that, they're going to be
Seneschal
full
worries
up.
me. That kind of
Oh,
makes me
okay.
not want to play more.
So that was
Vamps
something
than
I didn't know
have.
on Saturday either.
I didn't
think-
either.
I think I may have had 4 on.
Muhammad.
Well, either
Yeah.
way,
Yep.
I believe we're coming into the streets.
Uh-oh.
Toreador's coming out to play.
Yeah. I mean, they got the influence and the power to do it right now. Heck yeah.
Have
And it looks like they have a pretty good pool of
who's got
Prestige still
Randolph
going
is
on.
looking kind of mean over there.
Yeah.
but he's
Yes.
physical, though.
Yes, thanks to that athlete.
I want Liju to make the attack so that she can get the free heal, but I kind of Muhammad.
Awesomeness Coyote in chat pointing out that like search engine is not clan locked, so it's just discipline locked. And I was talking to the designer. He did say that a reason people might want to bring certain out of clan vampires, but not any cards of that clan,
Okay.
is because they want access to those disciplines. So some
Uh,
cards will be better if you have more vampires with a certain discipline. So you might include a vampire from a different clan to get that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That Seneschal.
Seneschal is evil. Yeah, the Seneschal is
That was the
very
idea.
powerful.
Yeah,
Just a good threat.
I'm actually.
Yeah.
gonna
If
search
you ever
it.
get down to 1 or 2, they can force you to lose the game by running out of prestige.
We're gonna
Yep.
leave that there.
Hmm.
I like it.
Oh, must be a good one.
I'm gonna actually draw that card right now for my second action.
So search engine, solid card you liked. Second action just takes it into hand.
2. Let's
So
do some
good.
mending. We can actually mend both of our people because we just increased our.
Toreador's at 8 points. 13 wins the game. 13
Discard.
agenda points.
Toreador's just burning it up over here, and
Every turn, they're getting
Yeah.
that citizen right off the deck and taking them.
to heal both Muhammad
nice.
and Liju. 1. And then we'll have Liju take the 1. So she'll be back down to 6.
So
other
discarding some
things that-
cards to keep them
And then
healthy.
I'll draw
Sorry,
One
go
of the
ahead,
other
Rick.
things I was gonna say, one of the other things I really liked about the cards and the game
Okay.
itself is the beauty of the artwork. Whoever at Renegade curated the artwork for this did an amazing
That will
job.
go away first.
I really like how much San Francisco flavor comes through in these too.
Mhm.
Like even on
Hey,
this
the
athlete here,
Vagrant.
Fisherman's Wharf, you've got a lot of noticeable things and events that tie it to that geographic location.
I might
So good. Which is also kind of cool because
refresh my
when you
influence here.
make expansions, you can be making expansions for other cities like Chicago and New York and New Orleans. Ooh,
Maybe.
maybe. I mean, I'm not saying that sounds great.
James, what is your just so I know your showing influence?
My showing influence is 8. I only have 2
8, yeah.
vampires out right now.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I
it's
would
Muhammad.
prefer it to be lower, but I'm scared of Randolph.
Oh, no, I meant your
So
I meant
good.
prestige, your influence. Vampires.
Oh,
Doesn't Randolph
I
get
got
eight?
you. I have. Let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So influence
Muhammad.
is used frequently
Muhammad's
for
maxed
I think
out
they're
with
called
retainers,
schemes.
and I get 1
Cards that you put into play, and then people vote using their influence for that scheme
So
to
I wanna
either
come out
succeed or
and be
fail.
aggressive
There's a
against
scheme
you,
that
but
Ventru has that
thanks
can
so
just
much
score
for
them 2
Seneschal. I
points.
need to get the max
Yeah.
benefit from it.
So I think
Not
he's
a-
checking to see if he's able to kind of force that to pass.
So I'm
and
gonna
get
go ahead
those
and
points.
do that for an action because it's
Drain me.
not bad. That'll drain you.
So does Prime ask if we have a ship date for this, or when we might
that's a
know?
pretty good
We will have
action.
some
I go from
information
8 to
pretty
6.
soon.
I got
I can't
five.
share
that's a pretty
anything
big swing. If I can get
quite
another
yet,
one in there,
but
that'll be good.
pretty darn soon we'll have a very good idea of when we'll have this game in your hot little
I wish I
hands.
had something else to play,
Nice.
but I don't.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, and watching
I'll
these
just
2
do draw
players go
another
at it
card. That's
here,
something I'm digging for, and
and the
I'm not
different
getting it.
strategies that they're formulating based on their knowledge of the game
So
already
I'll
is
go
really
into mending.
opening up some
I'll do the
really good
same
windows
play I
for
did
me, who's only played it once.
last
Yes.
time. I will mend Randolph one.
And I've only played a couple times, so it's nice to see someone
and then
who's
he'll take the one set.
very familiar.
So
Mm.
as of the game, he stays exactly where he is at. And I will draw
So
2,
good.
and maybe this will be the time.
What you're digging for? All right. Let's see what we got. Fresh.
Here we go. Watch it be a citizen.
Another vagrant.
All
Good,
right,
Good, good.
a vagrant.
Oh. got a very slightly vulnerable Zhang. You've still got your Vagrant over there, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I'm tempted to maybe attack. Let's see what I got over here. We got Muhammad with a fair bit, but you've got a really good defense potential.
I got a great defense card, and I got a huge hand of cards.
Yeah. How many cards do you have in hand, actually?
Oof.
14.
Oh, I can see that right there. Yeah. Oh goodness. You
14 cards in the Toreador hand means that they definitely have some reaction cards that could really mess up a Ventru plan here.
Absolutely.
Well, in that case, let's
Just knowing they have that many tools in their toolbox is a little bit worrying.
Absolutely.
Read come out the streets. Actually, let's exhaust our search engine before we do anything.
That search engine, I wish I would have really put it to use.
I'm actually gonna bury that. I don't. We've solved that problem. So let's put that at the bottom of our deck for more options for later. I am going to come out to the streets. I am going to have Muhammad make a social attack against this special affairs division. We have 2 social naturally. We have 1.
So wiping out one of them will score a point. It will not score the extra point for the agenda because it's not a citizen. Same thing, the vagrants don't give that extra point because they are not technically citizens. They are just vagrants.
So that'll do 4. We will destroy that fella for 1 agenda.
So scoring another one there. They are at 9.
And for action.
Awesomeness Coyote asking about the voting results. Curious how close the other clans were to La Sombra. There were 2 other clans that were within sort of spitting distance. Everybody else was quite behind.
Main win con at this point,
I don't know how much I can share, so I'm going to err on the side of
I'm
caution.
only sitting on 6.
We had 1,000 people vote.
Wow.
There were 2 other clans that were in like the mid 20s something percent.
I'm sorry, Prestige.
I think La Sombra got 29%.
Prestige. That's 3 turns of draining if that Prince don't show up. I'm gonna draw 1 card because we need some additional options. And then
so the Ventru player mentioning like with 6 prestige left for Toreador, he can get rid of all of that in 3 turns with his Seneschal title. Or sorry, Seneschal.
Seneschal.
If Prince of City doesn't come up and get claimed.
Dang.
All right. Get a new city card here. Hey, it's sad.
What? More sad.
He can stay right where he's at. I'm not going to flip anything because you've caught on to my master plan here. I mean, I could come in. I could do an attack. But your vampires are tough.
They're kind of beefy. And
yeah, those vampires have been pumped up.
The prestige right from under me.
Excuse me.
So it's really, it really is the best play, I think. So I'm going to do it again. Exhaust Mr. Randolph.
Nice.
Drain you 2 more.
I'm down to 4.
All right.
And in
just
a
putting
real
pressure
world
with that
scenario,
title.
in a real world scenario, this is basically the Ventru putting some spicy news out into the world that's making the Toreador look bad and thus losing their prestige.
There you go.
Draw again. Let's do the same.
They're making deep fakes.
Deep fakes. Fake news everywhere.
Pitch 1. Mend Randolph. Randolph takes a sad damage at the end.
So he's pitching a card of pretty much every turn to just heal the damage that he took from sad the round before.
Okay.
When you run out of cards in your deck, nothing happens. You just don't have more options to draw.
City deck card.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Let's see what it is.
It is not the Prince.
There's a lot of vagrants in San Francisco right now.
And it's just a vagrant. Oh man.
There's only 6 cards left in the city deck, so Prince of the City has to come up sometime soon.
Wow.
I have
This is
an idea. I don't know if it's a good idea.
so based on watching the 2 clans that are being played, Ventru and Toreador, you can absolutely see the correlation with the original role playing game and how it uses
can I ask
subterfuge.
how much influence you have showing?
2.
2?
No, 3. Randolph
3.
has 2 because he is titled. And then Zhang has 1 because he is titled. So
Okay.
3 showing influence.
3 showing influence.
Ventru's so different from when I played him. I had
Four.
the title
Mhm.
first turn
Let's,
that made all my vampires cheaper, so I
guess
just played
we'll
a ton
see
of
how-
vampires.
Yeah, you had a full field of vampires. You had like 5 or
Sadly-
6 by the end.
And I
It's
had
crazy.
I had
Yeah,
several long-term
it is.
investments, so I was
Free
just
money.
drowning in prestige too.
Yep,
Should each player gain 3
Ah,
influence?
Money.
Hey, there we go.
there you go.
Good defensive play, getting more
Ah.
influence into or
Oh, you're voting yes.
I'm gonna
I
commit
see.
to it.
prestige, getting
Yeah,
more
I'm voting
prestige
yes.
into his pool, so he can't be
Yep.
burned out.
You have
It's
4 showing, right?
Yeah,
4
just
showing,
extends his life a
and that's
little
4
longer.
thumbs up. I got lots of thumbs.
Got all the thumbs now?
Having not
And
seen
you,
the other two
on our system,
clans played,
token,
I'm
right?
guessing that they are
Yeah,
also going
I'll,
to
I'll
definitely
drag
feel some
one.
cool
I'll drag
um, aspects to the game that these two clans
over.
don't possess, and that I can't wait
Yeah.
to see those.
if I decide to use
So
it.
Malkavian is all about the
Well, let me think about this,
conspiracies,
actually.
which are played
Mhm.
face down and advanced turn after turn or through other cards. They kind of remind me of the
Okay.
agendas in Netrunner, where you don't know what's going to happen until
Okay.
it completes
Okay.
and flips over.
Okay.
They can have good effects for you or negative effects for other players. And then Bruja is all about
Okay, I'm gonna
brutal
commit to
attacks
no,
and just
Okay.
messing people up, it seemed.
Okay.
and I will make some change just in case I do want to bid some tokens. I'm still at 4 here.
Soyuz Prime asking if this client is
I'm at
available to
3,
the
you're-
public to play. This
I'm
is
at
on
3, you're
Tabletopia.
at
We
4.
have run multiple events where the game is available to anyone to play on Tabletopia. The next one, I believe, will be
Okay,
during
I'm
Renegade
gonna drop
Con,
them over here
February 12th through
onto,
14th. So you'll be able to, that weekend,
So if we make
hop
a
on
decision,
Tabletopia and play
we'll
anytime
drag
you
them at
want.
the same time, whatever we've chosen, if we've chosen anything, kind of thing.
Yep.
All right. You say the word, and where are we going? Next to the
we-
We'll also have other events
Yeah.
like that coming up where it's available for
Let's
anyone
do
to try out.
3,
But I think during
2,
Renegade Con, we also will have
1.
actually taught
I'm
demos
not
too.
doing anything. Oh, you did it! Nice. All right.
So you lose.
So yeah,
I do lose. That's true. I don't get 3.
Ventru spent 2 more prestige in addition to their influence to stop that scheme from
Smart? I
happening.
don't
No
know.
free
But-
money keeps Toreador on the ropes in terms of the
Then
prestige game here. They could lose if he loses the rest of his
let's
prestige.
have. Oof.
Otherwise, it's what, 5 agenda to 9 agenda in favor of Toreador. You can also lose if all your vampires are knocked out.
Let's have Muhammad
That's, I think, a lot harder to do,
come in.
at least with these clans.
With
Yeah, these two clans versus each other, I don't think it would be as easy, but you throw the
social
Bruja in the
attack
mix,
against
that's going to change
Yeah.
everything.
Zhang.
Okay.
I'll discard a
Now he
card
is coming in and
for
attacking one of
secrecy. Let me pick which card I want.
the Ventru
I'll
vampires.
discard that card for
Oh,
secrecy.
wow.
And we're attempting a you've officially put a timer on this game, so I put a
He's got to go
a
big.
social attack.
He knows he's only got 2 more rounds if nothing changes.
2,
3
3.
3 showing.
I will not play anything.
You're not gonna play anything?
Wow.
All right.
Sure.
We're flipping
Wait, attack
back.
him?
I guess I can mute Twitch.
Oh, way over there.
I don't need to hear this
It's
twice.
in front of Muhammad.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the one you were discarding for intel. That's perfectly fine. So you're gonna deal me 4, right?
I'm gonna do you 4, yeah.
Okay.
It's wild.
Let me know if my
That's
poll shows
interesting.
up on
You can
screen
knock
for
me
your
out.
favorite
That's
clan.
great.
Hey, it did.
Yeah, I thought you had the defense card in hand, so I thought it wouldn't knock you out, but it's just the 1, yeah.
So I have to exhaust the Vagrant. So I'll take 3 damage on Zhang.
If you do that though, you'll have to mend, right?
I mend, but I cannot spend my last prestige this
Oh,
way.
you're right. So you just go down to the 1.
Yep,
yeah.
So he will. Yep. So the damage, and then he will mend once. I'm down to 1 prestige myself.
Oh, my God.
Jeez.
Oh,
Risky. Like living on
Yep.
the edge.
Yeah, I mean we're both. It's gonna be close with the prestige fight. All right, those are my 2. I have to take 1. Actually, mend though. Let's mend. Muhammad's
Awesomeness
4.
Coyote mentioning that their favorite
Easier
clan
to
is not in
do.
Rivals yet, and actually know their top 4. There's a lot more
One.
clans than I had realized when I was introduced to this game. I
mentioned
was
taking
Yeah.
some
aware of some of the big ones, but man, there's a lot of variety, a lot of stuff we can explore in the in the
Oh,
game.
absolutely.
And that'll be
Absolutely.
me, and then I'll
I mean,
draw two
you are
cards.
hitting 4 very key
I had a
plans
possible. had
with
a
what
big
you're
decision
with
point
the
on
launch
that
of
game.
this. But it will be interesting to see
This
which
is the way
ones
I
make
went.
the cut in the expansion.
Yeah.
It was a difficult decision either way.
It's another
Oh,
sad.
oh, oh.
Yes.
Oh no!
Oh man,
That puts 2 sads on the field.
2 damage. They're also
Okay.
stacking, so they've got 2
Refresh
intel.
everything.
It's going to be hard to hide from them.
Yeah.
And they're the only things on the city deck
Uh,
that provides any
I
points right
think
now.
You know what I'm going to do.
I can remove the poll
I have a guess.
by.
I will exhaust.
Desiree
Randolph
did it
again
already.
To drain you of 2 more prestige.
Down to 2. If we don't get a prince, I'm dead next turn. Next year, next turn.
And then
There's 5 cards left in that deck.
I'm
Got a
trying to find
20%
that. I'm
chance
just gonna
that
draw
Prince of the
cards.
City comes
Seems
up.
crazy,
Yeah.
but it's really my best bet. Amending time.
And I think Ventru is just biding their time, hoping to
still
knock him
don't
out
need-
next turn.
Yeah, I think so. Taking away the prestige is definitely the plan for them because
So
they
I
don't
can
have enough
mend
time to
Randolph
pull enough
1
other
to
vampires and put
center,
other
Titles.
and then I will
titles.
discard
Yeah,
another
he doesn't
card.
have
I'm
the
gonna move
prestige to even try that, so
Yep.
that card either.
he's going all in on the Seneschal strategy.
To rend Mr. Zhang here. Put him up to 3. And then sad damage, 2 points of sad damage.
Oof.
They're both going to go on Randolph.
Ooh, all right, that's interesting.
And I'm going to draw 2.
Ready for our fresh city card.
Will it be Prince of the City? It's not, but that's another
That is.
another citizen.
So I'm at 9.
Get to 11.
All right.
That's
Off
11.
this.
It's not going to be
Yeah.
enough that way.
But he can't. Oh,
I
man.
have one other trick, maybe. Let's see
One
what
of the trick up the sleeve.
one last trick for all the marbles, and if it doesn't work, I just die. So, see what happens. Can I ask again how much influence you have showing?
3. I have 3
Three.
influence.
So Rick, did that deck have the thing that just
Three,
gives you
have
points
one
if it goes
prestige in
through?
your pool, correct?
It had
Yes.
it had one
going
that
to
gave
pay
you
one
I think it was 2 points.
To activate influencer.
I think it was. I can't remember what the card name was, and it
Right.
was one of the ones that I did
I
never.
had to
I
pay that
didn't
whenever I
draw.
Played it, then I think yeah.
Yes. Oh,
It's
you
my
really?
fault. Well, we are at 1 then. We're paying the cost that we neglected to pay before. But so are you even
Oh,
closer than
so he didn't pay when he put it into play, which is how that would normally work.
Mm.
that's going to
So he's paying now.
each character with that discipline plus 1 influence.
Mhm.
So Muhammad with his 3 retainers will have 4 influence, and then Liju has 1. I'm going to exhaust Liju to play. Let's make sure this is going to work.
This is going to be an
We'll play
interesting
Balance
combo.
Power.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
Yeah, there is
that's brilliant.
nothing I can do about that. Because I only have
So,
3 showing
balance of power. He's going to choose
influence.
himself,
I have no issue with
Toreador,
Influence.
Have
and he
1
has more
prestige.
influence, so he can force it through and steal that last
Wow, I did not see
prestige.
that coming.
Nicely
Yeah,
done.
that
You'll
was
see, actually,
brilliant.
balance of power is a
I was
great
gonna say
example.
no,
That
but
card
he
has the Toreador symbol. You can only play that if you have a Toreador
Five.
vampire in your
Five.
coterie currently.
1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4,
okay.
5. Actually 6, I
Ah.
guess. Because Liju has the discipline, so she's one additional
Yeah.
plus leader.
Six
for 1.
six influence. They
Muhammad
each only
has
have
3, 4.
one that they
Yeah,
cannot
6 thumbs
spend.
up.
So it's just a straight up 2 vampires versus 2 vampires influence off.
So the team
Oh.
resolves. Can you steal my last prestige?
Steals the last
Wow.
prestige for the win.
That was really close.
Snatches
Man,
victory
that
from the
was
jaws of
great.
defeat.
That was great.
That was a
And
little
what
bit.
a what a
so
neat
that was
combo.
partially, and I want to stress, it was a little bit my fault on the influencer. I didn't realize I hadn't paid that 1 influence whenever I played the card, and I don't know why for a second. It's been a while since we played with the core cards. I thought I had to pay it whenever I used it.
Sure.
I guess I made the card actually worse in my mind.
Yeah, and
I
I
don't know,
missed
maybe
that you hadn't done that because that's actually a card I do know how it works.
Yeah, that was that was my fault. I don't. That might have, Jared. Would that have influenced any of your last turn of
Yes.
attacks
So
or anything?
my other plan was to let your scheme go through.
The other one, the prior one.
Yes. So
Okay.
if it had gone through, I would have recruited another vampire because I would have had the prestige,
Yep.
Nancy. And then I would have played my own scheme because you couldn't do anything about it. And I would have played greed. I would have played greed to get 2 points.
Nice.
Sure.
And then the next turn, I would have given Nancy a title to get 2 more. So that would have taken me up to 9.
Very nice.
That was my other decision that I wasn't sure.
Sure.
I wanted to go. But this was a cool way for it to end.
Yeah. So this is actually a great showcase of a different end condition than just agenda, and what a close game! Like,
Yeah.
That worked out very, very tightly.
That Seneschal
Yeah,
did
super
work.
cool.
That was rough.
Can you
The Seneschal did great, and you just drew a citizen every single turn.
I got extremely lucky. I put a lot of pressure just getting lucky and being in the position to take advantage.
Yeah, that's why I went with Seneschal, because I knew he was too far ahead in agenda. I didn't think I was going to catch up, so I switched gears. But can you believe it? I had 17 cards in hand, James, and I didn't have a single defense reaction.
I thought, like, I was swinging, when I swinged against Zhang, I thought for sure I was going to see, is it called Dignity of the Office, I believe?
Yep. Yeah.
I thought
that is a really strong defensive card.
It is.
Yeah.
But,
It's what, +2 defense for every character in your coterie with a title, I think?
Yep. Yeah, so even +4.
Yeah, it's just, it can get up to insane defensive numbers, and a really good play. Well, that was awesome. I hope everybody watching found that helpful or enlightening. This was both mine and Rick's first time trying to kind of commentate or talk on a game. So we welcome if you have feedback or thoughts, what worked, what didn't work. I'd love to hear it, because this is a thing we will probably do in the future at some point. And I know we want to strive to improve every time we do it. But James and Jared, that was awesome showcase of the game. Thank you for showing it off, played by someone better than me. And letting us kind of see how things worked there. That was really good. Everybody, that is really all we have for tonight. But as always, every Wednesday night we stream for Vampire Wednesday. We've got some good vampire content at the upcoming Renegade Con, February 12th through the 14th. So if you are free that weekend, make sure to check out. We're going to be designing a card for someone with the audience's help. We're going to be talking about storytelling in the world of Vampire, and a lot of other good Renegade news. So check it out. Tickets are free. You can get in on some fun activities that weekend. But I think that's about it. We'll stay in the chat for a little bit so we can give any feedback that you guys have on the thing. But Rick, hope you had a good time. Thanks for helping.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun getting to see a game that I obviously love, with a lot of history showing itself in the cards. Watching these two players do what they do. They did an amazing job. And seeing new strategies that I didn't see when I played it, and seeing how you can win with a prestige win. That was pretty cool.
Yep, that was awesome. I will put the link to some Renegade Con information in the chat. But that is pretty much everything for tonight, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.